Hey there, my name is Alina and welcome to You the CEO. Now in this video I really wanted to talk about habit number 4 from the 7 habits of highly effective teens, and that is think, win, win. What do we live for if it is not to make life less difficult for each other? George Eliot, an author. Have you ever heard about the story about the 2 friends being chased by a bear, where one friend looks at the other and says, I just realized something. I don't need to outrun the bear. I need to outrun you. Now, this scenario can easily be translated into the world that we live in, where we're in a constant state of competition, whether it's to, reach those percentiles, get the most amount of sales, win those rewards, and so forth. Don't get me wrong, this kind of mindset allowed our society to evolve the way that it did. It's not bad at all. But there begins to become an issue when we start adapting behaviors where we play not to lose. Now, what do I mean by that? It's basically saying, I just need to beat you to be better. Now, according to Covey, there is a smarter attitude towards life, and that's by adopting the mindset, think, win, win. It basically states that if I can win, so can you. It's not me, it's not you, it's the both of us. Yeah, come on, Alina, are you kidding me? Like, this sounds like a great idea, but let's be honest, we constantly live in a competition. How can this be true? I mean, I do personally agree. Obviously, in school, in sports, in business, it's very much a competition. But please do remember, we're the very ones that merely created these types of institutions. It doesn't have to be this way in relationships. I mean, please do imagine that you have your best friend with you right now, and you are constantly comparing your shoes, your hair, who is the better boyfriend or girlfriend, who's constantly better dressed. Geez, you wouldn't have friends anymore. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 4 types of attitudes that one can adapt into their life. Number 1 is win-lose, the totem pole syndrome. Now, I feel all of us fall guilty in doing this at least once or twice within our lifetime, and that's by comparing our grades with everyone in the class. You know what I'm talking about. It's one of those things you jump out of your chair and you're like, oh, yo, what did you get on your test? What did you get? What did you get? What did you get? What did you get? And either you have this crazy feeling of complete satisfaction because, you're gloating and you're floating because you beat everyone, or quite the contrary, you don't. See, but there's an issue with this behavior because win-lose is full of pride. Let me read you something that C.S. Lewis said, and he couldn't have said it any better. Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man. It is the comparison that makes you proud, the pleasure of being above the rest. Now, the really interesting part is that Western society actually promotes this type of behavior. We have this egocentric approach, we have this rather individualistic approach, and maybe even narcissistic. But the thing is, lose-win can have many different types of faces. We can go to extent to using someone emotionally or physically for our selfish purposes. We can spread rumors about people. We can advance ahead at the expense of other people, or even get envious at the people close to us that start exceeding higher than we are. See, the problem with win-lose is that it ultimately backfires. It may win in the short run, but in the long run, you'll end up all alone. The second attitude, lose-win, the doormat. There was a teen that once said, I, for one, am a big peacemaker. I would much rather take the blame for just about anything than to get into an argument. I constantly find myself saying that I'm dumb. Do you identify yourself with that statement? If so, you may have fallen into the doormat syndrome. I mean, it looks pretty on the outside, but it's a highly dangerous place to be. What you're basically saying is that, have it your way on me. Wipe your feet over me, because everyone else does. Let me tell you one thing, that is weak. I'm going to say this bluntly and again, that is a weak position to be in. It's so easy to get stepped on. It's so easy to be the Mr. Nice Guy and allow everyone to have it their way on you. With this kind of an attitude, you'll find yourself setting low expectations and constantly compromising your standards again and again. Now, the biggest warning signal would be if you're aligning into peer pressure. Now, this is a great rule to live by. Allow others to win the little things, but always stay firm on the things that matter most to you. And that could be your values. That could be your boundaries. Know them. Come to identify with them and hold true to them. The third attitude, and that is lose-lose. the downward spiral. If I'm going down, you're coming down with me, sucker. After all, misery loves company. Let's be honest, war is a perfect example. Revenge, even better. A lot of the times we believe that through revenge we're going to make it right in some way, but ultimately both parties end up suffering. And the fourth attitude, which is the best option, it's think win-win. The all-you-can-eat buffet. With this kind of an attitude, you believe that everyone can win within a situation. And the most wonderful part of it that makes it a match make in heaven is the fact that you take care of another person and help provide them value. And on top of that, you take care of your own needs and your own goals. So honestly, how perfect is it? Alrighty, so how do you adopt the mindset think win-win? And it all starts by winning the private victory first and foremost, which is dealing with your own psychology. If you're extremely insecure and if you haven't gone through the process of really figuring things out, you're constantly going to be intimidated by people that are more successful and better than you are, which means that you'll constantly feel intimidated. You'll constantly put yourself down. You'll constantly place yourself into situations that ultimately pull you down and away from your goals and away from a very satisfactory life. Now, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the second part towards this habit, and it happens to be the tumor twins, comparison and competition. We're going to be talking about that and how to deal with them effectively, so please do stay tuned.